Hi, everybody. Welcome to November of 2025 for the animals message this month. And it is one that I hope really resonates with everybody and is something you can absolutely practice as we begin to head into the holiday season, regardless of hemisphere, right? We've got lots of different festivals all around the world throughout the month of November and December. So the animals really chose this message in regards to that, as well as keeping in mind the cyclical seasons and cycles that our bodies go through as we move through a calendar year or year around the sun, right? So this month, the theme or the animal's message is rest, restore, and renew. So if we look at the northern hemisphere, we're in the midst of fall. For me, I'm in West Michigan, in the United States. And for me, as I'm looking out the window, many of the trees have changed colors. There's some that haven't yet. It feels a bit late yet, for me, but there's fall, there's shedding, there's falling of the leaves. Animals are moving into hibernation as well as insects, right? And there's a whole lot of going in, finding ways to restore and renew. And then even in the southern hemisphere, even though we're in the springtime, there's blooming, there's birthing, there's expansion. And yet for both of those hemispheres, the message still applies. Rest, restore, and renew. Even if you're in the southern hemisphere and you're watching things spring to life, there is still an aspect of needing to restore. We're also seeing plants that are renewing, right? Animals are giving birth and whatnot. How are they renewing their own cycle, but at the same time also taking that rest? So regardless of hemisphere, the message is still the same. There is still a balance between stillness and spark. So here's a question for you, and this is something I think you can ask with your animals. What truly restores you? So I will share real quickly that for me, I'm not a big nap taker. However, when Lucas gives me the indication that it's time to get off the devices, it's time to retreat to a quiet place, he will curl up next to me. And my biggest restoration practice is reading. And I will, if I could read a book for 15 minutes, if I could do it for several hours, that's great. And he will stay snuggled up with me until he realizes it's time for us to get outside and do something else. So ask yourself what truly resonates with you. Ask your animal to help you. And flag those times when you need to go within and do some restoration, do some renewal work, do some resting. But listen to your own pace throughout the whole month of November and allow your animals to guide you when you aren't necessarily aware or paying attention. They're going to interrupt you in a way, even if they're in spirit, by the way, they're going to interrupt you in a way that you can go, oh, wait, how am I really feeling? Like check in with your physical state, check in with your mental state, your emotional state. How am I really feeling? Could I use for a rest? And yes, of course, right now, at the very moment, you may not be able to take that rest, but allow yourself to tune into your own rhythm, even discover it. And don't listen to the world pace. The world right now is going to throw us off kilter. So how can we realize, oh, I can take in some news stories now, or I can participate in something here, or I need to go, device free Sundays, whatever that may be, but listen to your own rhythm. And nature will model this the best for you. If we're thinking about it in the northern, sorry, my nose is itching. If we think about this on the northern hemisphere perspective, we have the trees are shedding, right? And they're also moving their energy inside in preparation for the cold weather. We have bears that have hibernated or beginning their hibernation. We have the deer. I've noticed the females and the younger deer are all collecting into larger communities, larger family groups, which is interesting, right? Because we're getting into the holiday time, which also reflects that too. So take cues from nature. For me, a lot of the birds have migrated, but different birds are here. The winter birds are here that have been further north. They come here now. The butterflies are all gone. The hummingbirds are gone, but they're moving into warmer weather. Is that something that would help you as well if you're in the northern hemisphere? So watch how nature can model this for you. And also just know that even as, particularly as we head into the holiday season, some of this may feel non-productive or counterintuitive, but it is indeed essential. If we don't rest, we can't fully show up as who we are, as what we need to do. And the animals are asking us to do that, be fully present, be fully authentic, be fully who we are. So how can you look at rest, renew, and restoring with your animal, or even as your own practice with their coaching? How can you look at that as a means to fully be yourself? How do you find ways to just be able to participate and not overextend? Because remember that rest actually it actually means, if you will, preparation. Doesn't necessarily mean withdraw. There may be an aspect of that in there, but just also know that give yourself that grace, that when you are resting and renewing and restoring, that you're also preparing for whatever may come next. I also just want to bring in, just for those of you who are grieving, experiencing the loss of a pet in particular, or a loss of a parent, the holiday time, right? This brings about memories of what we did last holiday season with our beloved animal companion, our beloved family member, our beloved friend, beloved situation. We may even have been in a completely different house and location, and there's still aspects of that for grief. But allow the grief to also come through. Don't push it aside. It may actually ask you to do exactly what the animals are talking about this month, of resting, restoring, and renewing, because grief does slow us down. It does pull us inward, much like the trees, much like hibernation. So when you're feeling grief, allow yourself to rest into it. Even explore the ways it can renew you. Even explore the ways it reshapes you for a different restoration, right? So however, I just don't want anybody to ignore the grief that you have to bustle through. It's there for a reason. And so how can it too help you with renewal? So there's that. I just wanted to weave that in there. Also, just to kind of share things on a personal note, know that there is also, like, even if you're resting and restoring, there is also sometimes a paradox. So what I mean by that is, I just spent this past weekend, the last full weekend of October, with my podcast colleagues, Karen and Meredith. We were invited to a special event in New York City. And so I was there for about 60 hours. And I came home. While the event was wonderful and it was great to be with them, even saw other colleagues, well, it was really great to be with everybody, and we did live animal communication readings. We participated in the International Dog Film Festival and the International Cat Film Festival. Even though all of it was wonderful, it wiped me out. It absolutely wiped me out. So I can feel absolutely depleted, and at the same time also joyful. So I don't want anyone necessarily thinking, and the animals don't want you thinking this either, is that when you're resting, restoring, and renewing, and also if there's grief too, it's not necessarily negative. It's not a negative thing. It can also be in a way to, you've experienced all of this. Now allow your body to catch up with yourself, with your psyche, if you will, with your soul. So I still want to come back to that question about what renews and restores you. So even thinking through, like, my example or other experiences you've had, even anticipating what's about to transpire as we head into the latter part of November and through December, what is coming up for you that you're even feeling a little nervous about, a little anxious about, where your animal's starting to maybe show you some troubling or additional or concerning behavior that you're like, uh-oh, what is that you can tap into? How are they using that, even to check in with yourself to say it's time to rest, restore, and renew? So I want to just give you a little bit of an invitation. So just remember that rest is also active alignment. So when you allow yourself to rest, you also get to practice some of the other things we've talked about this year, like listening and stillness, even intolerance, just to be able to see where things are going. This is an opportunity for us to shed, as well as to conserve our energy and prepare for new things that are coming. So Again, this is an integration of all the lessons, of course, of 2026. We are preparing for 20, or sorry, this is the integration of all the lessons for 2025, as we are also preparing for 2026. So just remember, as you move through this month of November, rest is the sacred pause between chapters, and we're entering a big chapter here. So allow yourself to rest, renew, and restore. And how can you allow the rest, renewal, and restoration to do its work for you and with your beloved animals? So I would love to hear from you on how rest, restore, and renew resonates for you. That's a lot of R's. That resonates for you this month. And I hope you have a wonderful, wonderful November. Take really good care. Please feel free to send me a comment, send me a direct message, whatever may work for you. Know that I'm here to support you all as well as your animals. And I look forward to hearing from you soon. Take really good care this month of November with resting, restoring, and renewing.